All right, hello, welcome, you made it. Welcome to the LMS 101 training. This is for our lending vertical. My name is Mike Hoffman. I'm your captain, and hopefully, this ends up being a good training video to where I keep things short and sweet, and you just get up and running and making money right away. So, firstly, I just want to welcome you aboard. Thank you for being a part of this. As we dive in here, you're going to see me probably um, just try to stay on track and focus. So please take notes as you see fit if you're a good note taker, or you can just watch the video again and again and again as many times as you want. We want those plays to go up. So yeah, watch those as much as you can. Um, okay, so first thing that we want to kind of go over is, what are you doing here? Well, we're generating leads. That's what we're doing. Whether business is good or business is bad, everybody needs leads, right? So we're in the mortgage space, and that means we got to generate people who are interested in refinancing. And we got to get those over to mortgage companies as soon as we can. And we live transfer everything. Um, Now, we don't have a brick and mortar office. Obviously, you're at your house probably right now watching this. And that's kind of cool, right? But we got to stay organized. And the way we do that is with Skype. So this is our new team, Tamra Mania, and you should have been sent an email that says send back a direct deposit. It says watch this training video. It says fill out the W-9, and it says click this link to join our Skype group or something along that line. And basically, when you click that link, you need to have Skype downloaded as a program to your computer. So make sure you download Skype as a program, meaning you need to go to Google, you need to type in Skype download and download it, okay? And then it'll look like this. And you'll have contacts on the left-hand side. You'll have, when you click that link, you'll automatically be joined into our group. And you can then add Tamara, hover over Tamara's icon, or I have a Mac, so it probably looks a little different than a PC, but you can click add to contact, make sure you have her direct contact, and make sure you have Skype just up. You want to see updates because this is our office and we banter, and I'm sure you can probably read through what we have up here. So that's the first and foremost thing. You want to get active on Skype. We do morning meetings Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Those are meetings that we do want you to attend. We sometimes go over training. Wednesdays are more training days. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we have about a 30-minute meeting, and then we get dialing. Our hours are Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 5 Pacific Standard Time. So we try to get you on the phone as early as possible because you want to make money, right? So cool. So Skype is the first thing. The second thing is getting accustomed and sort of into our dialing platform as well as our CRM. And I'm not going to do an advanced training in this video. This video is just going to be basically how to get you up and going to where you can make money tomorrow, okay? Or today, even right now, in the next couple hours. This is how it's going to work, okay? You're going to log into our dialer. You're going to have a login and password. You'll save, bookmark this this URL, and when you log in, it'll tell you invalid user password. No, I'm just kidding. It won't tell you that. Hang on. Maybe I just didn't spell right. Let's see here. Admin. Okay. Does that work? Yeah, there we go. Okay. You're now connected to the predictive dialer, it says. Cool. Save your password. That'll be useful. Okay. Now, I'm in a campaign and my phone's connected and I'm registered. How do I know? Because it's green over here at the top. It's all green. It'll even ask you the first time you log in here, it'll ask you to use your microphone. allow it to use their microphone. You're going to need that for people to hear you. Okay? And basically, what's going to happen is I'm in a campaign. If it's not the right campaign, I can just exit this campaign and go into a different one. But I need to always be aware of my status. My status right now is not available, so I'm not dialing. No leads are coming to me. Okay. If I'm available, then leads are going to start coming. And you don't want to be waiting for more than like a minute, I'd say. If you're waiting more than a minute and a half, you need to let Tamara know immediately for calls. So, because there's something wrong. But typically every 30 seconds to every minute, you're getting a client on the phone. You're getting, well, I shouldn't say a client, you're getting a pop-up. And I'll show you what I mean in a second, but it could be a voicemail by accident or whatnot. But the first step is to log into Call Tools and basically set yourself to not available. Okay, so I'm not available. That's the first step. Well, first couple steps, okay? Make sure that your phone is connected and that your phone's registered and that, well, whether you're in a campaign or not, it doesn't really matter. Just make sure you're in Call Tools. Second step is to go to your CRM. And our CRM is called Arcadia because it's awesome. And you'll have a username and a password. And you can click Remember Me. And you're going to log in. And then you can click the Save and you're going to bookmark this page as well. Just so you have it, okay? You'll probably have it in a Skype message as well, but easy to get to when it's bookmarked because you can just click these three little vertical dots and then go to bookmarks and then you have things that you want down here, okay? So this is the CRM. This is not anything nothing's gonna happen in your CRM except once you get going with us and you submit leads, a new button will appear that says lead submissions or your leads or something like that. And you click on that and it'll show you all the leads you submitted. It's kind of cool. It'll show you even more detail. We'll get into that later. But for right now, this is just getting up and going, right? So basically, you're in Arcadia. You're going to go back to Call Tools and you're going to dial. That's it. Here we go. All right, I'm going to pretend like we're dialing. And I'm going to call my number, okay? And I'm gonna kind of show you what this would look like the best way that I can. You might have to bear with me because it's not going to yeah, you'll see. Okay, so I click call, but you're not gonna be calling this way. It's gonna be dialing. You're gonna be set to available, right? And it's just gonna be dialing in the background. But I don't want a real lead to answer, so I'm not gonna do that. So we're going to pretend like somebody just answered because this is the way it'll look. It's the same difference of me pressing call, okay? So this is what happens. You're sitting there, you're set to available, and it's dialing in the background, okay? And then all of a sudden, excuse me, all of a sudden I go Darth Vader on you. No, all of a sudden a beep happens. It'll go beep, and that means somebody said hello. So I'll show you what that means. We'll show you what that looks like. So beep, all this stuff starts happening. Look at this, it's crazy, right? So what's happened now is that a client has said, I'm actually answering my phone right now, just put it on mute. Okay, the client has said hello. They're ready to talk. You got them on the line right now. And basically what's happened is your CRM Arcadia has popped up right here, okay, over Call Tools. Now, this is my lead. I have gone in Call Tools a lot with myself and done a lot of tests. So you see everything filled out. You're not going to see all this stuff. All this stuff is just admin stuff. So it's really kind of pointless. Like all this extra stuff, the purple buttons, like you're not going to see any of that stuff. Okay. You're going to really want to pay attention to this. This is what you want to see, which is your CRM. And it's also your script. And I would recommend that you memorize this very first line. And notice this is not filled out. It's not pre-popped with any of the information in here. That's because it's not a real lead, okay? But it will be. So I'm going to quickly just fill this out and show you what it'll look like. Just give me a second. That's not going to have anything. let's see, what else? Value and what it's worth. Okay. And yeah, we'll have the address in there. Okay, so this is the way the lead will look like. Okay, it'll, and sometimes, you know what, sometimes it does have conventional or not, but in any case it'll have their name right away. So you want to memorize your intro in case, remember when it's popped up, it kind of looked like this, right? It was like, how do you even read that? So um, there's a few different, first of all, when you memorize this first line, it's, hi, this is Mike with Leverage Mortgage. Have I caught you at a bad time? And then you can always see their name. You'll always be able to see their name, no matter how this pops up. Michael. So have I caught you at a bad time, Mike? And in that amount of time, it gives you the time to either click feedback and reduce the lead status lights. You can reduce those and do the script this way. What I recommend doing is I recommend blowing this up. Like on a PC, if you just double click right here on your toolbar, it should do something like this. Okay, so I recommend blowing it up and having it nice and big. And then you have obviously call tools on in another window, which is fine. And you can quick tab through by, you can go back and forth basically between these. Like mine is this shortcut with my mouse that I'm doing right now. You see me. There's also, I believe, control. What is it on a PC? It's Alt Tab. Alt Tab on a PC will get you to sort of look at other screens, and mine would be something like this, where I can go back and forth this way, or I can do the shortcut with my mouse that I like. So anyways, that shortcut is important because we're going to need that later. But in the beginning, to just get going, this is it. It pops up and everything is done for you, meaning you don't have to know really anything about lending. You just have to see if they meet the parameters and meet the filters, we'll call it. Okay, so every buyer has a filter. And those buyers are right down here in the lead status bar. There's transfer 1, transfer 2, transfer 3, transfer 4. That's 4 different buyers. Each buyer has a set of filters for their interest rate, the rate type, meaning rate type would be, is it a conventional? Is it a VA loan? Is it a, what type of loan is it, right? Is it an FHA? Home loan. This is how much is the loan? How much do they owe on their home? Their LTV, loan to value. The percentage of LTV is always the percentage of what is owed. So if I say the home is worth 100,000 and you owe 30,000, what is your LTV? It's 30%. Okay, you can rewind this part of the video and listen to that again because you want to learn this stuff. Loan type, okay, is what type of loan is it? Is it an adjustable or is it a fixed? What type of loan is it? Adjustable rate or is a, I'm sorry, that's under rate type. I'm sorry, I got those confused. I apologize. Rate type would be this right here. Is it a fixed or an adjustable rate? Loan type would be, what type of loan is it? Conventional, VA, FHA, what type of loan is it? It goes to this question here, okay? So rate type is up here. And credit score, well, that's pretty self-explanatory. State, self-explanatory. And cash out. Cash out we're going to talk about a little bit, but not too much because I don't want to get too detailed. But basically, do they want to take any cash out of their property? And sometimes they have to. That's different, right? Sometimes in order to get a deal done, they're going to need to take cash out in order for one of our buyers to accept them. Sometimes they're asking for cash out, but they don't have the equity, meaning they can't take cash out because they don't got the money, right? I know you want, if your home is worth 100,000 and you owe 30 and you want, let's just say, you know, $70,000 cash out. No one's going to just give you 100% of your loan. The max cash out would be like 90, 95%, something like that, which is a lot. But you got to leave 5 or 10% of equity in the home. But irregardless, you're not going to have to know those certain parameters, so to speak. We're going to talk about cash out only later. But first, let's go through the process and how it works. So we're still on the line over here with Mike, myself, and they answered the phone. This pop-up came up, and I said, "Hey, this is Mike with Leverage Mortgage. Have I caught you at a bad time, Mike?" Okay, and I'm basically inputting their name there. Have I caught you at a bad time, Mike? Okay, well, I'll be, and Mike says, yeah, I'm cooking. And I say, okay, well, I'll be brief. I'm just doing a quick, it doesn't matter what they say, by the way. If they say they're in the middle of something, if they say they're, yeah, I just caught on fire right now. It's a bad time. Okay, no problem. I'll be brief. I just want to do a quick follow-up on your recent inquiry to refinance. And it looks like there might be some great options for you. Now, it says here that your interest rate is 4.5%. Is that correct? So notice I'm putting the 4.5 in here. And they say, yeah, that's about right. I say, okay, great. Is that an adjustable or a fixed rate? If they say adjustable, it's going to have an extra thing to say over here. Okay, definitely for room for savings there. If they say fixed, you're just going to go to the next question. The next question on a fixed is, and what is the term of your mortgage? And usually the terms are 30 years, but sometimes you'll talk to people on a 20 or a 15. Okay, it just kind of depends. Now, if they're on an adjustable, it it adds, okay, definitely some room for savings there. When does your rate go up again? 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, over the next year, or when? And he says 6 months. Okay, fine. I'll choose 1 year. That's close. And do you have a FHA or a conventional loan? Oh, I have a conventional. Perfect. Okay. And what do you think the current ballpark value of the home is? Now, it's already going to be in your system, but we need to confirm it and we need to make sure it's right and add any type of, if they say, well, it's about 465. So you want to change that because it's not 450, right? Every little bit matters. And what do you think you currently owe on it? And we're gonna ignore this. This is not something you tell the client right here. This is called a tooltip. So we're gonna get there in a second. What do you think you owe? Oh, I owe, you know, I owe, I owe 100,000. Let's just say it was 100. Okay. We'll come back to this in a second. Okay. Have you ever refinanced before? If so, how long ago? And it must be over 12 months ago. So he says, yeah, no, I've never refinanced, or I've refinanced once, but it was 3 years ago. Perfect. And okay, do you carry any credit card debt? And if yes, how much? Yeah, who doesn't, right? So I owe 15 grand in credit cards. Okay, boom. Put that in. Okay, and do you happen to know what your credit rating is? It's 675. 675. Okay, so we're gonna go with fair credit. And okay, that's excellent. So from what it looks like here, could definitely be some good options for you to either lower your payment or take cash out of the property. Let me ask you, would you be more interested in hearing your options for lowering your total outgoing expenses or taking cash out of the property, or both? Oh, I don't want to take any cash out of this property. I'd like to, just see if I can get lower than a lower rate, because right now this person's on an adjustable and it's going up every year. So that really makes a big difference, right? So he just wants a lower rate. Okay, wonderful. And have you ever been late, or sorry, so yeah, have you ever been late on any mortgage payments in the last 12 months? Say no. And any foreclosures or bankruptcies, and that's going to be added here, or bankruptcies in the past 3 years. No, I have not. Okay, wonderful. And are you receiving some source of income? Yes. Okay, wonderful. Now, what do we do? What do we do? How do we know what happens from here? Well, we're going to keep going, okay? If we can keep going to the closing, I'm going to show you how this works. So the closing script is pretty simple. But before we can do that, we got to make sure that there's a buyer to send it to. So let's learn how to read the rate table sheet. Okay, these are our buyers, and so far, none of our buyers are all green. They have to be lit all green, valid from all their filters need to be valid in order to send the lead. So if I try to send this lead right now, it's not going to work. It's going to tell me no because there's no buyer that'll take this. But this is an easy fix. And actually, I'm going to teach you guys real quick how this works, okay? So you're not going to be able to change anything about what they owe, the adjustable rate, anything like that, okay? Let's take, for instance, that this person owes 150 instead of 100 on their property. So they owe a little bit more, okay? You'll see that we do have a buyer now. That opens up. There's a buyer that'll take that, okay? Let's go back and let's change. I'm going to just change some parameters that are very likely, okay? And I'm going to change credit and okay. So let's go back to 100,000 is what they owe on the property. And let's say the home is worth 250,000. This is a pretty fair scenario. We see this a lot, okay? Interest rate's 4.5. Everything looks good. He's on adjustable, so he's wanting to get out of that or whatever the case may be. It doesn't really matter. All we know is this. I'm going to go back to this tooltip. Cash out, so this parameter here, this, is mandatory. Mandatory, okay, when the balance, okay, what is the balance? That's what they owe. That's their balance, is between 75,000 and 124,999. So basically, when it's under $125,000, cash out is mandatory. Huh, okay. So right now this person owes 100,000. Unless he wants to take out $25,000 in cash, there won't be a client for him. And notice when I put this in here, I do click out of the box and that registers the input. When I did that, look at the lead status. What happened? I have 2 buyers that will take that now. Okay, so once again, this is the only parameter that you can change, which is whether or not they want cash out. You can't change anything else on here, but you can talk to them. So if I have a client who owes 100,000 and I know the minimum loan amount that any buyer is going to take is 125,000 across the board, doesn't matter about anything else, across the board, they want $125,000 as the total loan amount, meaning what this person owes is 100. Then they're going to take $25,000 in equity out of their property. That's a total loan amount of $125,000. However you get to that, it doesn't matter. They could owe 122. Okay? 122. And the minimum cash out really that you want to do is 10,000. You don't want to go like they want $2,000 cash out. That's not going to work. So let's just say I do $122,000. Okay, it's invalid now. As you can see, the home loan amount, this is what they're gonna borrow, is invalid across the board. Nobody wants it. But if I add 10,000, not 100, there we go. The reason I bring it up is because you might talk to people who either A, they say, no, I just want a lower rate, and when you look at their loan balance, if they owe less than 125, you gotta tell them, hey, I'll be honest, unless you want to take cash out of the property, and I would simply just tell somebody, I don't have a buyer. I don't have or excuse me, not have a buyer. My goodness, let me back that up. I would just tell them I don't think it's going to save you any money. And basically, I would just keep it very black and white with them. Like, I don't have anyone that'll do it at that amount. It's the the people that we work with or people that I work with, they want to have a loan balance of 125 or more. So would you want to look at an option for taking a little bit of cash out of the property, like $10,000? I mean, you said you have some debt, so you told me that you have about $10,000 in debt. You could just pay that off. And that's the ticket, is knowing what cash out can be used for. You can use cash out to pay off debt. That's the number one thing people use it for. You can also use it to pay off other types of debt, like medical bills, student loans, cars, any type of debt, okay? And you can use cash out to go and buy an investment property. This is what we call leveraging your investments, being leveraged. That means that you're able to you can take out money from one, put it into another, and now you have two. And the idea of building that way is kind of appealing to people because then you have multiple streams of income, right? So that, without going too deep, the big thing that you want to look for is if and let me show you over here real quick. I'll show you the two areas that you want to look for. You want to look at this LTV and you want to look at the cash out. If either of those are coming up invalid, especially when both are coming up invalid, it has to do with either A, they don't have enough equity, okay, that loan balance is not there, or they need to take more cash out, or they're taking too much cash out. So they either need to take cash out, or they're taking too much cash out, or they don't take cash out. Those are the three options. I don't want any cash. Yes, I want cash. Or I want this much cash and that's too much. Or I want this much cash and it's too little. If that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. But basically, I'll give you another example here. Let's have a guy who owes 165. Okay, and he wants 40,000. No, he wants 60,000 cash out. Okay. Notice the lead status over here changed when we put that in there. This person who was going to take him when he wanted, if I lower this down to, let's say 20,000 cash out, they want him, right? Look at him. It's all green. Transfer one. That buyer will take him. But when I go up to 60,000, they don't want him. But we still have a place to send it. You don't have to worry about who wants it or why. Like why one person wants it, one person doesn't. It doesn't matter. This is the only thing that you can change, which is the cash out. Okay? You can try to talk to the client about that. But when it comes down to it, there is a place to send this lead, right? So let's get paid. So that's your goal. Most of the time, you're not going to have to worry about this. And things will come up invalid for many different reasons. It's not always going to be your fault, okay? If this person has a 3.5% interest rate, or 3.75, let's just say, okay? Excuse me, let me change that. I don't know why that didn't change. 0.75, okay. Oh, well, let's scroll up. 3.75, okay. If they have a 3.5% rate and it's fixed and it's on a 30-year and they don't want any cash out, okay, there's nothing you can do about that. This person doesn't want cash out. Dude, no matter what you do, you're not going to be able to help that person, okay? Nothing you can do about it. Now, if you're talking to this person and all of a sudden you find out they have a bankruptcy and their rate is at 4.5 or more and they're in the right state, then yeah. But a lot of these parameters, and notice this is always changing with everything you put in. It's always changing. It knows exactly what to do and the reason why to do it. So we're going to go to the next step. What happens when you have it greenlit all the way down? You're ready to transfer, right? So you're going to read this closing. Okay, that's all the information I need. I don't want to waste any more of your time. So what I'm going to do now is get this over to my direct lender, And you'll hear a moment of silence, and then I'll be back on the line with you. So just hold one moment. I appreciate your patience. Then you click transfer, and it gives you a transfer number at the top. You're going to highlight the transfer number. You're going to press Control C, or I think Option C on a PC, or you can just right click, copy. And this is where it gets to where you want to flip flop. So once you copy this number, you got to go back to Call Tools. And notice I'm still on the line. You're going to click transfer. You're going to click conference because you want a conference call. You're going to manually dial, so this button up here. Then you're going to go ahead and right click and you can paste or Control V. Just get that in there. And you're going to dial. Now I'm going to change the number because I don't want to actually transfer to this client. I'm going to call Deborah. She's our HR. Okay. So we're going to pretend like we're transferring to the client. Okay. Once it starts ringing, it's ringing right now. When they answer, I'm going to say, "Hi, Deborah." So they're going to answer. They're going to say, "Hi, this is Deborah with whoever," and I'm going to say, "Hi, Deborah. This is Mike with Leverage. I have," and notice how it pre-pops their name. Just hang on the line with me, Deb. I'm doing a training. Okay, or maybe she didn't. But okay, so I'm going to keep going here. So I have Mike Kaufman on the line. Do you see their file there? And if not, just say, okay, it'll come through soon and just still move forward. But if they do, then that'd be great. You say, okay, great. To give you a quick rundown, his home is worth 250. Notice how it inputs all the information here. You don't have to look down and find it. And he owes 165. His rate is 4.5%, and it's fixed on a conventional. Okay, so whatever he told you he has, it's fixed on a conventional loan, or whatever loan he told you. So if he has a conventional, you would read conventional. If he has a FHA or a VA, you would read you would tell her that. Sorry, I'm stumbling a little bit here because that part is, I'm trying to find it down here, and you know what, it's not right here, it's under refinance. So yeah, so basically it will actually say one of these, okay, but sometimes it won't, I guess. Very rare that it won't, but usually it'll say conventional or FHA. In any case, he's on a fixed conventional. He wants to take a look at his options for refinancing. And then it says here, if they want cash out, let the agent know how much. Okay, so right here I'd say he wants to look at his options for refinancing. He possibly also wants to look at pulling $20,000 cash out. Okay, so or what if they were looking for a cash out? Obviously, on this particular client, they were not looking for cash out. They were looking in this particular client. You can see here, interested in cash out. It says no. Okay, so you won't have to tell them if they're not interested in cash out. But if they are, let them know. Yeah, they're interested in XYZ for cash out. Okay, now it says bring the client on the line. Okay, and what you're going to do is you're going to go back to Call Tools, and you're going to click this little button that says Start Conference. Okay, it's a button, you'll see it. I'm going to give you a video that'll show how to transfer, just so you can have it, but it's the only other button there. It says Start Conference. And when you click that, all parties are merged. Okay, and you're going to say, hey, Michael, thank you, appreciate your patience. Okay, I have XYZ on the line, whoever the LO is, and here with us, and he or she is going to be able to, help you from here with different options, along with, now this is if they want cash out, you'll read this. So along with the $0, cash out amount that you were looking for, whatnot, and see what he can do to help you out. Does that sound good? And you're not going to speak until the client says hello, okay. And then you're going to say, okay, great. You two have an excellent day from my side. And then you're going to come over to Call Tools and you're going to hang up. That's it. From there, you will disposition the lead. Hopefully, most of your dispositions will be successful transfer. So you'll click successful transfer, and let's just pretend like this says successful transfer here. And then you'll click save and resume like this, and you're on to the next client. That's it. It's as simple as that. So when you do that, the last step is to close this tab, or you can click submit a successful transfer. And when you click submit a successful transfer, it'll just register that you actually were successfully able to get the call transferred over. But I'm just going to exit out here, and hopefully that explains the gist of how to get going. Feel free to watch this video over and over. I'm going to do another video for advanced training, but this will definitely get you going. And thank you guys so much for your patience and your time. And let's kick some butt and make some money. Okay. See you on the other side.